Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Your turn. Repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Yep. Anybody want to share anything? What you studied, discussed last time or remember anything? Does that sound?
That's fun. I think there's just some sound outside.
Very good. Yeah. Anything which you remember? Last time?
Like a tortoise.
Yeah.
To see our senses and that way, the tortoise moves its legs and
Yeah.
everything inside the shell.
So,
Yeah, that when there are things of pleasure or senses, then we should be like the tortoise in that case.
Hare Krishna. We had a lot of discussion about sugar and then ate two cakes. Good. Anything else? Rete? How is life going? Stressful? Why?
I have exams soon.
Exams?
I have
Soon.
final exams soon.
Okay. Oh, final exams. Okay. You're not feeling prepared?
I mean, not fully yet. I do have some time, but
Okay. Your final exams are over, Harshita?
I have exams every month. So
Okay.
this month they're over.
Okay. Good. How is life for you?
Good, I guess.
Okay. How is your life?
Normal as usual.
Okay. How is your life, Vladimir?
I'm discovering. So a lot of things that I can remind. Maybe because this period of being in Netherlands after I had very different life before, but every time I come back to Odessa, and it's another feeling, like journey and a lot of tours. But when it's like another place for living,
Yeah.
and so I'm discovering because some things feels different, but it's interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could discuss this at some point, because yesterday was the first time I heard about it, and I tried to discuss it with like 1 to 2 people, and they didn't know about it either. And it's basically like I don't know about like the concept of like attaining Krishna and heaven and how they're different. Like I went to Rimpu Prabhu's program yesterday, and that's where I first heard of it. And he's like, "Do you want to go to heaven?" I'm like, "I don't know the difference."
Yeah.
And then so I just wanted to, if you could like discuss that.
Sure. Okay. Good. How is your life?
Busy as usual.
Okay. Yeah. So there are multiple different planes of existence, right? So this is one plane of existence, which is called as Bhumandala. This is a plane of existence. Many of the planets which we know of belong to this plane of existence. There is totally 14 planes of existence as per Vedic cosmology. This is a planar view. Yeah, this is not the view which it's not necessarily aligned with how modern science looks at it. This is more of planetary systems are categorized into planes, different planes of existence and different planes of consciousness which go with the existence. So in each plane is sort of a consciousness of people who are there. It sort of is in one, let's say, some specific way. Right? Hare Krishna. Come on. So,
Please.
somebody else is over there? Okay.
Maybe also for monkey sing.
Hello.
Come in.
Hi.
The singing circle?
Singing circle is there.
But you can
Yes.
stay here. We will also sing.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Krishna. Did you hear Bhakti?
Oh,
Would like
thank you very
to
much.
join one time.
Thank you.
We do also monkey singing and Bhagavad-gita discussion and dinner together. Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Have a nice evening.
So in 14 we are in the middle. Yeah. And
2007?
yeah. Yeah. 7th. Yes. So on top there is another plane of existence called as Bhuvarloka. This is Bhuloka. In Bhuvarloka, then Swarga is 2 up from where we are. And then on top of Swarga also there are other planes of existence like Janaloka, Tapaloka, and then Brahmaloka. Right? So Brahmaloka is where Lord Brahma is. So he sits on the lotus, and there are also people with him in that plane of existence. And then below that there is a place where all the seriously austere personalities, they're all living there, the Tapaloka. There's a plane of existence for people who are siddhas, siddhaloka, right? So Swarga is somewhere between us and Brahma, where it's basically, the loose English translation is heaven, in a way that in English, when they refer to heaven, it's mostly from Abrahamic idea, wherein you die, you go to heaven, and you will be in eternal heaven. But Vedic idea of Swarga is not eternal. It is a place where somebody who is very pious, have done a lot of good things in this life, they get to enjoy unlimited happiness in heaven, but then there is a time limitation. It is a lot of enjoyment. Enjoyment is unlimited, but it is not infinite duration. It is finite duration, unlimited happiness. So somebody accumulates a lot of karma, good karma, positive karma. They can raise to Swarga and enjoy there. And eventually the good karmic balance comes down. It becomes zero. And they have to come back to the place where they accumulate karma again. Yeah. So this is that place where people get karma. In heaven they don't get karma, they just burn karma. Right? So even if someone elevates themselves to, let's say, even Brahma's plane of existence, still that place is not eternal. So this entire 14 planetary systems, all of them, they have a time limitations. The space eventually will contract. The space will eventually get destroyed. The space will eventually get annihilated. It will not exist anymore. Right? It's like something which is expanding, and will contract again, and then will become nothing. So sort of aligns with how Big Bang Theory also tells, how is the universe coming out and then what exactly is happening. So, but then Krishna is something which is beyond this temporary existence of matter. Right? So Swarga is also it's an existence, it's existence of matter. It is not spiritual realm, it is still material realm. So if someone goes there, they need to come back. Okay? Makes sense? So it's like someone becomes very rich, have a lot of money, you just enjoy on a yacht, for example, and just going around. But then eventually, let's say someone earns $1 million, is just going around enjoying everywhere. $1 million will get over one day, right? And they have to come back to earn again. It's like that. Going to heaven is like that.
So how is the experiencing of like the experience of attaining Krishna different?
It's eternal. So that's the biggest difference. Well, if someone and attaining Krishna is not a physical thing, like how is it going to heaven. In heaven, you are there as a goal. Somebody is really they were wishing that I want to really enjoy there, and that's why I'm doing all the good things now for future enjoyment. So attaining Krishna is fundamentally different because a person is not having this idea that I want to enjoy. And Krishna can be attained even now here. Yeah, you can't create Swarga here necessarily. What happens in Swarga is that you can just wish, I want mango. This is not a mango tree, but it can give mango. You can just wish, it will give. Then you tell, oh no, I want banana from this. You get banana from there. And you don't necessarily get sick. You don't get old in heaven. You are born in a way that you are just fully ready for enjoyment. You're not like a small baby crying, no. Just born in a way that you just enjoy. And eventually you will be in a situation where is the karmic account got reduced to zero, and then you need to change your plane of existence now. They come back. With Krishna, it is not like that. The foundational desire is not that living entity is thinking that I want to enjoy now. Foundational desire which is there in the heart of the living entity is I want to serve Krishna. And in the process it becomes happy, and that can be attained even now.
So you're essentially doing everything as a form of service. Then.
Yes.
So in Swarga you're being served almost, like with all your desires
Yes,
are being fulfilled.
you are just serving yourself, your senses are being fulfilled. Basically, it's just enjoyment, but limited time. It has a deadline. It is not infinite. So a lot of enjoyment, but with limited time. So compared to eternity, that even if you let somebody enjoys for a million years, compared to eternity, it is still an insignificant amount of time. Somebody just goes, enjoys, comes back. If someone attains Krishna, first difference is it is not that you need to go somewhere, but you attain Krishna here. The foundational idea of life is not that I want to enjoy, I want to make Krishna happy, and as a product, byproduct, I become happy also.
So with Krishna, the desires disappear, or the desire?
No, the desire is always there. The desire is just purified. The desire is not. So there is always a target for the desire, right? Our target is always towards our own senses.
Yes.
That's where the target is always. But if those targets change into, it's not for my enjoyment, it's for Krishna's pleasure. Yeah. And then it gets purified, much more purified. Eventually you will be like, okay, this is where I can be really happy. Trying to enjoy ourselves is okay. It can give us momentary satisfaction and momentary happiness, but it's not really, it's not eternal.
So to climb to the Krishna's level, basically, we cannot go step by step.
We will not be climbing to Krishna's level, we will be climbing to the level of Krishna's servant.
Yes, exactly. By level, I mean his.
Hey Ritika, Hare Krishna.
Amen.
Hello. So yeah, we'll not be aspiring to go to Krishna's.
No, I mean his realm, basically. Like,
Yes.
to be his servant.
Yeah. So we basically we will have a different consciousness to come and serve Krishna. Are you for singing circle?
Yes.
That's in that building.
Oh, I'm in the wrong building.
Yeah.
But he also
But
can
it's also
sing.
big here.
Nice to meet you. I'm not the first one, huh?
No.
But it
You
smells
will come.
very nice.
Yeah.
You can also be here if you like, or you can come back.
If you want.
Thank you.
We'll have dinner
Singing
together.
circle? There?
There is also another program
Yeah,
going on
there's
there.
in another building. But it's at number 11. Sorry for interrupting.
I'll just come next time. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, so we always wish to serve Krishna.
Yes,
So
so
the living in it is perfection is not in enjoying at all. We can try to exercise that ability which we have, but then real happiness is only when we serve Krishna.
yes, so my question was, like, can we directly go to that realm, or can
Yeah.
can someone from like heaven also go to that?
Yes, but it's very difficult from there.
Because you said like doing new karma is not possible.
Yes,
isn't it?
but it's bhakti is beyond karma. But the problem with heaven is not about karma. But the karma can never give bhakti.
Mm.
But in Swarga, the problem is that there is so much of enjoyment. It's very difficult to think of anything afterwards.
Because already everything has been.
Yeah, everything is there. It's, even with little bit enjoyment, it's difficult for us to think of Krishna here. But then if someone is in Swarga, forget it. Yeah.
But you said that our souls want to serve Krishna, right?
Yes.
And in Swarga, it's our souls that go there.
Yeah, but then these souls are getting so much of enjoyment. It's so much.
And
It's
that's
almost
like a
impossible
easy-
to think of. There is no necessity at all. It's not. There is no push that I need to explore something. What happens in this realm, this plane of existence, is that it's a mixed experience. Everybody gets sometimes happiness, sometimes distress, sometimes happiness, distress. Not everything is going in the straight line all the time for anyone. Right? It's always there's mixed experiences, and then what that means is that you will eventually feel like, why should I be in this kind of duality? I want to transcend duality. But then going to heaven is only temporarily transcending of duality, because it is still under the duality. It's long time, but still short compared to eternity. So you will understand, that's not a good proposal then. I should Rather think of something which is eternal. Then why should I be having any temporary experience whatsoever? So million years, when it compared to our life, seems a lot of time. But if you compare to a billion years or trillion years, a million is nothing. Yeah. So yeah, an intelligent person then thinks, I don't want to be in this duality. I don't want to also transcend duality for short time. I want to be transcendental forever. And then you serve Krishna, and then you understand, oh, this whole idea of me enjoying is actually a useless idea. It will never be fulfilled as such because I'm not designed like that. So it's better to serve Krishna, and then in the process you become happy, and then that's good for you. Easy. Okay. Good. Yes. Ritika is here after a long time. How are you?
Yeah, not so good.
How is your wrist now?
The pain is just increasing. That's why I'm just like trying to hold it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the doctors here are just a nightmare. I miss India.
You've given some medications or nothing?
No, just physiotherapies.
Therapy, okay.
And yeah, they say that it's something in the DNA and I just need to exercise, and then they asked me to use my hand and I started using it, so now the pain has increased so much. I can't cook, or like even in my kitchen it's not a very nice feeling.
Okay. Hope that it will reduce very soon. But you have therapy now every week.
Not every week, they give 2 weeks,
Okay.
every 2 weeks one physiotherapy.
Okay. Good. Ashutosh, how is life?
Sad, but
Sad. What happened?
you already know.
Oh yes. Okay. Good. Okay. Apart from that,
It's going on.
great. So let's get to the shloka which we're supposed to discuss this week. How much was that?
5-9.
Okay. Everybody has a shloka?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So please repeat. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते Anybody else want to read? Open to everyone.
Okay, I can.
Go ahead.
Visaya vinivartante
Vishaya vinivartante
niraharasya dehinaya
niraharasya dehinah
rasavaryam rasapayasa
रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य
param drashtva nivartate.
परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते. Very good. Anyone else? Last? More people are coming.
Well, sing in circle.
Lots of people are coming.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Let's go back. Yes.
They took someone's shoe and, and went back.
Yes, anyone else? Yes, what?
Vishaya vinivartante
Vishaya vinivartante
niraharasya dehinaha
niraharasya dehinaya
rasavarjam rasopyasya
rasavarjam rasopyasya
param drishtva nivartate.
param drishva nivartate. Good. So, what Krishna is telling here. Translation, anybody want to read? Ritika, you can read. Yes, Ritika. Not Ritika, sorry, Riti. Ritika is there.
Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness.
Okay, you understand? We are reading second chapter 59th verse. You understand what Krishna is trying to say? What do you understand? What?
No, I will not talk today.
Not okay.
Sorry.
You don't understand anything.
I feel like I understand.
Okay, you can tell what you feel.
Maybe I don't.
Sure.
Like, last time you were talking about the tortoise, right?
Yeah.
How he like essentially restricts himself from sense
Mm.
enjoyment.
Yes.
So by though our soul may be restricted from that enjoyment, still like the desire for those sense enjoyment remains, and by ceasing like engaging yourself in sense enjoyments which are like bad for you in the long run, and by experiencing something that's higher taste, for instance like Krishna attainment and like that sort of like activities, you are fixed in consciousness. There's like stability.
Okay.
I guess.
Good.
I don't know.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else? Yes.
I think, I don't know if I'm understanding the opposite or not, but I think only by being Krishna consciousness you can control your senses, otherwise not. Something like that.
Okay, good. Yes, Vladimir, you want to share anything?
I have thoughts, but yeah, because of English, I will.
You can tell in Ukrainian, Yogamaya can translate.
But I will try. I will try in English. So when we work in the way to understand that our senses, our wishes, is something that we need to have discipline and to say like stop for something. Yeah, even. Oh.
Sing in circle?
Yes.
Oh,
it's.
No, the building.
Oh, sorry.
But you also can stay here if you'd like.
What's this? We are also sort of singing circle.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a different singing circle.
Okay.
Bhakti,
Yes.
Bhakti program.
So if you are hungry, you can stay here. If you are not hungry, then you can go there. Okay, thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, so even when somebody can do it in a good way and
Can stay.
be not so and be so good for saying stop for
Yeah.
his senses. Yeah, it doesn't mean that he will not have this kind of wish.
Yes. Very good.
And if the level of this person, of this soul, will be next when it's the taste of Krishna, of
Yes.
God, of this, like the main what soul wants. Yeah. So only in this way these wishes can be not in our in situation when we will feel that. Yeah,
Very good.
maybe like that.
Very nice. Very good. Anyone else to share? Yes, Ajit.
So here, let's say if a person tries stop doing enjoyment from their senses, but they will still crave for those enjoyment. But if we go in Krishna consciousness and if we keep doing chanting Hare Ram, Hare Krishna or Japa, then we will not go back, or we don't have that type of craving, and from inside we will be peaceful and satisfied.
Very good. Yes. Yes.
Like, if even though like if we pull ourselves back, but we still crave enjoyment, but we can still manage to focus on Krishna, we can attain him.
Okay. Good. Who didn't speak? Yes, Sujana.
Yeah, I think the same point, like by physically restraining our senses, we may control the senses for a limited time, but
Yeah.
the taste for enjoying or sense enjoyment remains the same. So it doesn't work by rules or regulations in controlling the senses.
So in the last shloka, Krishna was telling about tortoise, right? So someone who is actually trying to restrain. But then in this shloka, Krishna is telling, but that in itself is not sufficient. This restraining is not sufficient. We need to be able to experience higher taste. If someone can get higher taste, you will get rid of lower taste automatically, right? Just to make it very clear, like very graphic, let's say. We don't like to eat, for example, what what a cat eats, or a dog eats, or a pig eats, or a horse eats, or a tiger eats. And even if somebody is a non-vegetarian meat eater, they don't eat like how a tiger eats it, right? So, like raw. And those who are vegetarians, so we don't eat like how a rabbit eats, or some vegetarian animals eat. Even the ones which are seemingly the same substance, you sort of take it, you spice it up, add salt, and you make it a bit more tasty and then consume it, right? So why we don't consume just the grass, just like that? Because it doesn't have much taste. Now, because we know something which is higher taste, we go for higher taste. We don't feel like, oh wow, this tiger or this dog or the pig, they are eating so nicely. I also want to eat like that. We never feel like it because we know that we eat better. Right? So, because we have the higher taste, we can, it's very easy. We don't feel like, oh, I also want to do like this. We don't feel like that. So that applies to then everything, not just eating. Everything. If you can get a higher taste, so then one level of eating is just eating normal food. The second level of eating is then eating sattvic food. And third level of eating is eating only which is offered to Krishna. So if we can get into that level, then you'll start understanding that eating is not just about the physical plane. It's also affecting your consciousness, how you think, how you act, what you process exactly. So then you will be able to you will not be having cravings like, I want to go out and eat in a restaurant or something. It automatically goes away because you understand that every time you cook a food, you invest consciousness. Someone who is investing consciousness by cooking food. And then their karma actually is transferred to the bowl. And if I eat it, I get that. Right? So you are what you eat, basically. That's exactly what it is. Whatever we eat, that's what we are. We eat sattvic food, we become sattvic. We eat only Krishna Prasad, sanctified food, which is offered to Krishna. Then we also become spiritual then, because that will start acting on our consciousness, not just our body, not just our mind, but the whole consciousness which we have. Food acts on that. So now it's not just about food, it's about everything. Getting higher taste, we can get rid of lower taste. If you don't get higher taste, we'll be stuck in lower taste. So We need to be able to experience that. And somebody like Sachinandana Swami, he's going to come next week. When he sings, it's like a next level experience. So you should all come to Kirtan Mela. Please come. And you should also bring 10 people with you. That's the assignment. So, so if you come and if you see Sachinandana Swami singing, you will see that, oh my God, this is a different personality. There'll be, of course, many others who come and sing also that day, but some people who are really special. They have experienced this higher taste in Krishna's name. So when they recite Krishna's name, it's having so much of power. You can actually perceive it. So that's one of the ways in which you can also start understanding, wow, there is something there in this mantra. And you don't know what it is, it's acting on a different plane of effect on your consciousness, but there's something beautiful about it. You feel, at least for some moments, if you're consciously, attentively singing, when the Sachinandana Swami is singing, you will feel like, oh wow, this is beautiful. This is beyond what I experienced. You feel contented in your heart. It's like, wow, I feel satisfied. Of course, there will be nice food and everything to eat, but then just sitting there and attending his sessions, because he has the higher taste, you can also experience it through him. That is the meaning of association on a higher dimension, right? So you can get influenced by somebody else. We are designed like it, right? We are all designed in a way that we actually get influenced. How many of us watched movies? Right? How many of us have cried watching a movie or any TV show? You feel like, oh my God, but why do you cry?
Because sometimes we are lost in the story and we.
Yeah, but then nothing is happening in your life, right? Like something is going on there, and you know that it's not real. Why do you cry? Huh?
You feel the emotion.
Yeah, but why? It's not your life. And you know that it's fake. Why do you cry? You know that it's a movie. It's not real. The question is, why do you cry then? Why do you laugh? Let's take a simple question. Why do you, it's a fake scene. It's not real. Somebody has made it. It's nothing real. But then you feel like, oh, you feel happy also, right? So that based on what's going on there on the screen, you also react. But the question is why? Empathy. Okay.
Because we imagine it like in real life.
You imagine it? Okay.
Because the actors did a nice work.
The actors did a nice work. Okay. What else?
Like what you said earlier, like you perceive their emotions, you're immersed in the character and the storyline, so you perceive what they enact.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Our brain has these neurons called mirror neurons, and when you're watching something, you feel like you're experiencing it. Like when you're watching a football match, you're not actually there in the stadium or you're not playing, but you still sweat physically. So you have a physical reaction because your brain perceives that you're actually immersed in that experience.
Yes. Okay, good. But the question is why? That still remains. So, what happens with the neurons is still a response. It is not the cause. Cause is that you as an individual entity, you are designed to reciprocate what's going on outside. This is there by design. Wherever you put yourself into, you get affected positively, negatively, neutral, whatever, doesn't matter. This is how you are. You are an infinitesimal individual who is dependent on the external situation. No matter which situation you put yourself into, you get affected by that. It doesn't matter which situation it is. So, you are designed to connect with something which is there outside, which is for sure. Every one of us is designed like this. So by design, that's how an Atma functions. Now, unfortunate situation is that we have never experienced how this can be also in a spiritual plane of existence, wherein you get affected spiritually. We have not experienced this. If we put ourselves in Krishna consciousness dimension, yes, and then at that plane also you get affected, and then you react. You will respond. You are designed to respond, just like how we respond for a movie. Exactly like that. But then for that, I need to put myself into that plane of existence. So that can happen for a short term if you are there in Sachinanda Swami's Kirtan on May 3rd and May 4th. For a short time, because there is someone who is actually experiencing Krishna, who is singing on a totally different plane of consciousness, and you are hearing it, and then you can reciprocate with it. It's like an antenna which is getting tuned to different frequencies. In older times, there's radios, right? You can turn the knobs, and then there are different radio stations for different megahertz. So you tune it, 850 megahertz or whatever, right? You just align it in a way that, okay, now there's a good signal. So your reception is logged into the transmitter frequency then. So like that, our consciousness need to be also logged into something which is transcendental. And then everything else is very easy for us. Unfortunate situation is that it's very difficult to do that. Like that. It's very difficult, it's not easy. So we keep trying. Just come like this, in association. We all can also together go for a football match. But then that is not a spiritual association. We all together can also go to a pub or a restaurant or wherever. So it's not just being together. How many of us? 3, 4, 10. So it's not just 10 people being together. It is not that. It's about what we do while being together. Is it making sense? And then, if it is spiritual, then our hearts can then slowly start getting tuned into that frequency. Oh, this is how it is. You keep continuing to come to this association, eventually you'll be like, oh wow, yes, let me start becoming a bit sattvic. Yeah. Maybe someone else was eating meat before, okay, I will not eat meat anymore. I'm a vegetarian, but I'll start eating sattvic food. Right? I will avoid coffee, tea, onion, garlic, mushroom, all these things. And then, I'm already sattvic, I'll start offering whatever I eat to Krishna first. I'll offer it to Krishna with love and devotion. Then I consume it. I'll start chanting Hare Krishna mantra. I'll study Gita to get further knowledge. So all these things, the more and more we keep doing, eventually our consciousness is also getting tuned to Krishna's frequency then. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen over a few years also. We need to really be patient about getting to become really Krishna conscious. Eventually, but some things have, you can be rest assured, I don't feel like I should eat outside. I don't feel like I want to watch all these things anymore. My enjoyment doesn't come from all these things anymore. I'm happy just being here, getting into Krishna consciousness, singing kirtans, for example, or studying Gita or Bhagavatam, or eating Krishna Prasad. All these things also start giving you happiness. Tomorrow, if you come to Amsterdam, from morning 11:30 until 7 o'clock, there will be like 500 plus people who will be just walking around Amsterdam, dancing and singing Hare Krishna mantra. Right? It takes quite a while. I'll be cooking. Yogamaya will be going, so you can join her. There will be at least 500 people from all over Europe come and we'll just sing and dance all throughout Amsterdam. For somebody to do that, you need to have at least some experience in the past. Otherwise, doing that for 8 hours is a bit of a challenge. Okay? So, but then those who have been doing it, they're like, wow, I love it. Yes, I want to do it more. And if you come next week, Saturday, we'll be singing 11 hours. Start morning 10 o'clock until night 9 o'clock. Whole day. And then next day again. Right? So, there will be enough people, 400-500 people again, sitting inside the church and then singing. So for someone to do this, you need to have some experience. It can't be just all artificial. Right? No, I'll just be there. It can't be like that. Everybody has enough things to do outside. So just experience it once and see if it makes sense to you. I am not much of an outside guy, so I take services which are inside. But we did do a bit of kirtans in the Amstel station last year. Maybe we should resume it. We were singing every week before this program, 6 to 7. We were sitting in the Amstel station and we were singing in Amstel station. Perhaps we should do it. At least will be a good impetus for everybody to come on time. Right? Because you're supposed to come 6 o'clock in Amstel, you'll come at 6:30. At least 7 o'clock you are here. So, so let's, I don't know. How many of us would like to come and join if you want to do this? Maya is there, Ashutosh is there, Suveda is there. Okay, come, sure.
To join what?
Till 6:45 there, then 50 minutes to walk.
Yes, we need to.
Tomorrow?
Not tomorrow.
Ah.
Next
Friday. Every Friday.
Friday
next-
evenings.
Next Friday.
Oh, next Friday we don't have program.
program.
Because we have in temple we have kirtans starting already Friday evening. We'll update about it. But usually before this program, we were sitting in Amstel station and we were all singing in Amstel station. Yes. Yeah. So maybe it's a good thing. We should do it. See if no, you don't know. Okay. Okay. Mrugant will say.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Riti?
Just do it
Not
once.
sure.
Then you
But I
will
would like to
decide.
accompany.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. We'll at least do it once and then we'll see how it goes. At least last many times it was just Yogama and myself. At least if 2-3 other people come, then yeah, it's already good success. Great. Anyway, the point which I'm trying to say is that if you put yourself into an association, you'll get affected. So you need to choose that. Where are you putting yourself? It's very easy to tell them, no, I'm busy. It's very easy. Everybody is busy anyways. If you go and ask, you want a donkey, not donkey, but I'm extremely busy. Right? You go and ask a deer, tiger, an elephant, everybody will tell that we are very, very busy. So we need to choose. We can't be just busy all the time. We need to choose what better can I do, along with all the other busyness which is going on, which is there. We'll go on. So,
I also have a question.
go ahead.
Sometimes I think that Krishna consciousness is like a privilege, and it's also because, like, for instance, today if I decide that I want to live a completely Krishna conscious life, but then how is it possible for me to do it without living in silos, or just I feel like I'll have to live alone if I have to do this, because of course I have a family and I can't convince everybody in my home to, suddenly turn sattvic overnight, and because we all live together, so how can I just become
I'm
Krishna?
sure your mom will be much more happy if you do this.
Yes.
So you already have 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not 1 person anymore. You don't need to live in silos anymore then. It needs a bit of adjustment, little bit. We should not be fanatic about this is what I have for tomorrow morning and then just throw everything out. I need to tolerate a little bit, understand the present situation. I can't make one size t-shirt for everyone. Everybody has different size. If I give a size small to Ashutosh, you'll really freak out. So everybody needs a different size t-shirt, right? So similarly, everybody's life is different. We need to see it and how exactly we adjust. For some people, maybe it's very easy. For some people, it perhaps is a bit difficult on the family situation. But there can be always, we can start channeling. Okay, this is where I want to go. It's like if you're riding a cycle, you turn and it turns straight away. A bike or a car turns straight away. But if you're doing it on the, I don't know if you've done it in Geethol, boats, right? if you turn, it won't turn right away. And then let's say you're going like this, you want to go here. If you just keep turning, you will go and crash somewhere, because of course it is slow motion, and by the time it turns, and if you are still holding it, it will continue to turn. So you have to just give a turn and then come back, and then there is a slight deviation already, and then it will come to that angle. So we need to figure out how much is that angle, and then make sure that people around you are not really getting affected because you are doing something special. So we can be considerate, we can be having compassion for those who don't know about it or don't want to get to know about it. It can be the positive source of inspiration just by our presence, and then see what best we can do in our own small circle of influence, and to really know this is a circle which I can influence over, circle I can really control. This circle is beyond me, I can't really control them, I need to know about it. And then just be practical. So, but the other side of the story is that you will not be in silos. There are enough people in the world, millions of them, who live like this, not in silos, not the only person. And it's also not that those who want to become Krishna conscious will just be alone themselves. No, enough people who also have nice families, parents and cousins and family, children, enough people. So you will not be like, oh, I'll just be alone myself and that's it, nobody else. It's not like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think for myself, I also know this fact that all the friends and cousins that I currently have, I will probably lose all of them if I decided to follow this
At
path.
least some of them, I would say. But those who are really truly your friends will stick to you because they trust you then. Right? Those who are only superficially friends with you or close with you, they will perhaps go away. But if someone is a true friend, they will support you in your decision.
And it's not like people will just choose to part ways with me because of my decision. It's not that. It's just that currently, like how our social system is, we bond over, going to restaurants and most of the social life is coming from outings and gatherings like that, like the meals you eat together.
Yes.
So that would basically.
It will change. You're from corporates, you know this. There is something called a change cycle. In the beginning, there is shock, right? And there is anger. So there is shock, there is anger, and then there is apathy. They don't care you exist or not. Then eventually they start at least appreciate. Right? Okay, I can't do this. They're doing it. Then accept. So change cycle is just very normal. Somebody who is living a life wherein everything is just always is opposite of what Krishna consciousness is. And then you change it. Of course there is a shock. There is anger, there is surprise, people are then at some point of time just don't care whether you exist or not. And then eventually if you just continue doing it, they will accept and appreciate. For sure. That's how change cycle is anyway, just human psychology. So, and then those who are truly your friends and truly your well-wishers, they will anyway support you. They will be with you. This is a very common question I get because we do so many programs and always people are so really afraid that all my friends will go away. If I stop eating this, because my only way of communicating with them or having a relationship with them is through meals. And then if I'm becoming sattvic, they don't know how to cook, they'll just not invite me afterwards. Right? Because they can't make it. But all the majority of the times is just in our brain. We are just thinking for ourselves. Right? It's not that they have told something. You just think. You think what they think. It's not about what they are. It's about what you think about what they are. It's not about what you are. It's about what they think what you are. So it's just like this, in our own thinking. And we just decide also, oh sorry, this is not for me then. Give it a shot. Let's see. You'll also get to know about life.
Yeah, and on the shloka that we're discussing, also thinking on those lines, I've always oftentimes I force myself to keep the fast. Not like I naturally want to fast, because I find it so hard.
Yeah.
If I'm in India, then no problem. I can fast as much as I want. But here, I find it struggling
Yeah.
because you have to take care of your 9 to 5 job, and then
Yeah.
afterwards also there's nobody coming to help you out with anything. So you have to
Yeah.
manage things on your own. And I am someone who naturally, like, my energy levels fall low if I don't eat or something. So then, like, in fasting, of course, there are a lot of restrictions and a lot of even like vegetables that you can't necessarily eat on the fast day. So I manage everything, but then sometimes I think, oh, I wish I could have coffee or tea. So that is one of the things that I think about sometimes, even when I'm on fast, that I can't have tea or coffee. And now I'm thinking, like, even though I really obviously enjoy sattvic food, but then there's, and I really like try to avoid tea and coffee as much as I can, but then always there's this craving at the back of my mind that I want coffee. So yeah, it just doesn't go away.
Sure, no problem. First thing is, we don't do any hard fasting except a few days a year. There's something called as the Nirjala Ekadashi, which comes once a year, which Bhima did, which we try to fast from everything. On Janmashtami, we fast mostly until midnight, and that's it. There are no other days wherein we just fast, like really fast. Many times it's just, yeah, you fast for until noon or until evening, and then as soon as the fast breaking comes, you eat something. On usual Ekadashis, you fast from grains. So except grains, you can eat everything. You can eat all the quinoa and buckwheat and enough things. In modern times, you can eat all the fruits. Usually I don't like many things. I'm very picky on my food. So for me, many of the food which are recommended for fasting, I hate them. I don't like them. So I prefer just fasting than eating those things. So, and then I just fast until I can go, and then at some point of time, okay, I really need to eat something, so I eat something. But that's just me. There are other people who eat better on the day when they're fasting. Right? It's just like so many preps, so much, and then you just eat. You have fasting rotis, fasting puris, fasting sabzi, and it's all fasting food, but it's like 10-course meal, right? Like, oh, fast day, wow, it's a joke. So, but yeah, that's another variety. You could choose where you want to fit. And about tea and coffee, you should just not drink and just give it a death blow. Just don't tell your mind that, sorry, from today onwards, no tea and no coffee. That's it. Until you keep as an option, it will keep coming back and keep telling you that, oh, maybe you can do it today. You didn't do it yesterday. Let's drink it today. Just tell your mind, okay, from today onwards, no coffee. That's it.
You can drink mint tea, herbal tea.
There's also chicory seeds. You can. It tastes almost like coffee. You can buy it in Badine, chicory coffee, caffeine free. So there are enough alternatives. And in India also you can get a lot of herbal sattvic tea which tastes like tea. Ashutosh has some. I sent Ashutosh some samples. He's bought now and he's very happy about it. So there are enough alternatives, but just the original tea and coffee with caffeine, you can just say, sorry, I'm done with it. And then your mind will understand, accept. Mind is, we have discussed this I don't know how many times. It doesn't have anything of its own. Either it will follow senses or that's senses or buddhi. Right? Mind only has two options. Either it can follow senses or follow buddhi. If it is following senses, it is not following buddhi. If it is following buddhi, it is not following senses. It is very simple. And if you make your mind sort of okay, now I tell buddhi becomes strong and tells okay, from today onwards no coffee, it will accept. It's designed like this also. It will be happy with it. Eventually it will start telling, even if you see if somebody gives coffee mug in front of you, mind will tell don't drink it. Mind will tell, not buddhi, mind, because it is now trained by buddhi. It's like a small child. It's exactly like a small child. You train a child to. Yogamaya has two small kids, very small. Yogamaya never gives a how to say. They can never overpower Yogamaya, right? Because if they start throwing tantrums, she just neglects, and eventually they just need to follow what she tells. Right? So we were coming in car one day, and this guy, Maxim, he wanted puris. Puris, he likes puris, he loves puris. He wanted two. Yogamaya was like, okay, eat one first, and then I'll give you second. He's like, no, I want two to begin with. And then he started crying and throwing tantrums and just shouting. And Yogamaya is like, okay, I'll not give you anything. Then he just kept crying. Then afterwards, silent. And eventually calmed down. And eventually ate one puri and eventually ate second puri. Right? So that's how mind is. In the beginning, no. And then eventually we'll cool down. And then we'll just follow what Buddha does. Yeah. It's very simple.
But it's hard to control.
It is hard. Nobody. Arjuna tells to Krishna, in 6th chapter, of course, not we are in 2nd chapter. Krishna, this in 6th chapter, Arjuna tells to Krishna, it's so difficult, Krishna, I can't do this. I may be able to control the raging wind like a tornado. Have you seen a tornado? Like a video of a tornado? If a tornado comes, it can just throw this building off, right? This building can fly. I studied in Alabama. Every year there is tornadoes in Alabama. This period actually, in the year which 2011, I was just about to go to US. And like such a huge tornado there. It was just broadcasted everywhere in the world also. I was in India, but still saying live telecast of it. The whole buildings are flying, just in the air, flying with the wind. People, cows, everybody is flying. So many people die when tornado comes. Arjuna tells to Krishna, I can perhaps control that, but then controlling mind, just forget it. How going to work out? So Krishna actually accepts Ashutosh. Krishna doesn't tell you are wrong. When Arjuna tells it's very difficult to control mind, Krishna tells yes, you are right. It's very difficult. But then two things. Abhyasa, keep doing, keep practicing. Second, start practicing a bit of detachment. Don't be attached too much about whatever is going on with life. If some things are not going how you anticipate, it's okay. Be detached a little bit. With these two things, Krishna tells you'll be able to control the mind eventually. First one is Abhyasa, which is practice. So we chant Hare Krishna mantra every day. Even if your mind is telling, no, don't do it, still do it. Yeah. Can we do this for next week homework? I want everybody to chant Hare Krishna mantra every day, at least 108 times. Your mind may be telling whatever, doesn't matter. Sit down and chant. Just 108 times, 5-6 minutes. Okay? That's the meaning of abhyasa. And the second is detachment. So things may be going favorable or unfavorable. You may be feeling good, bad, ugly, whatever, doesn't matter. Be a bit detached from whatever is going on. With that, mind will slowly come to control. Okay? Good. Yes?
I have a slightly unrelated question. Okay.
It's time. Let's see first. Okay, go ahead. You have time.
Okay. So the other day we were talking about how we are the way we are because of everything we have done, right? Technically in our past lives and even in this life and everything. Okay, cool. But then how do you, it does not make sense to me that you could ever escape that cycle.
Because even like the things that we believe, like even if someone has like completely negative beliefs compared to what should be there, it's like completely opposite beliefs. That is because of what they have done previously, right? That's been incorporated to this life. So how would they ever escape it? Because even right now you're talking about like Swarga as a place where there would be no external trigger or stimuli, that duality that I would want to escape that. If that's the only thing that they're experiencing, what could even possibly make them want to like escape that?
They will. That's the whole thing I was saying about Ganka.
So just
They will not be.
spiraling?
No, they will, until you are there, you just don't think of anything else. And if someone is there in Swarga, they are just enjoying. There is no external stimuli whatsoever which can make them think, because it's engrossed in enjoyment. It's so much of enjoyment. Yeah. But then suddenly, at some point of time, it gets over. All the credits which they had, right? It's over, and then they have to be then back in this plane of existence. In this plane of existence where we are, there is constant stimuli, because we don't get this kind of unlimited enjoyment. Our happiness and distress, they keep, let's say, the coin, sometimes head, sometimes tail. So it's just always switching. Sometimes it's happiness, sometimes distress. Sometimes it's summertime but cold, winter time but hot. It's all possible. But then that's the name of the game. It's dual right now. So that can give you stimuli to actually cross over.
What if you're born in a household or like in a society where when you experience the slightest distress, this common solution that encourages to
Yeah, so the reason why you're born there is also because of your own karma, right? So that is the whole karma siddhanta.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. If you're already born there, I don't see how it would be possible to escape if there's like nothing that would.
Yeah, so for that person it's very difficult, really difficult. Let's say someone is born in the house of a robbers, right? So from childhood he's getting trained to be a robber. Everybody in the household is robber, right? So you may tell that, oh wow, this guy is just born there and he didn't have any other thing other than being a robber. But then this guy is born there in the house of robbers because he also deserved to be born in the house of robbers. He had done enough karma in the past, which is making him to be born in the house of robbers. So we may tell, oh, it's so difficult for this guy because he's just born in this house of robbers and then is being cultivated as a robber and then is becoming a robber. So where is the way out for this guy? It's very difficult. It's really difficult. But still, at some point of time, he also chooses again. And he can also choose not to. Maybe the opportunity for that is extremely minimal because he's been trained now from his babyhood to be a robber. But then still, maybe very small free will. See, karma cannot be understood without the concept of free will. Karma makes sense only because there is free will. Otherwise, there is no meaning to karma. Every living entity has free will. How we use it is up to us. Because of the use of free will, your karma becomes more or less. I'll give the example of children again. So if there are parents, and I think I had told this before. Let's say in the first gift the parent get to the baby was €50 worth toy. Right? The parent got €50 worth toy to the child. And the child saw that, just it's gone. First shot. Yeah. Now next time you want to get some toy, if it is Yoga Maya, she will get a toy for €1 maybe. Maybe €5. Yeah, €5. Okay. Yeah, because you know that this last time you got €50 worth and it's just smashed. Next time it saw the toy again and smashed. And if it's Yoga Maya, third time there will be no toy. So somebody else may be like, I'll just keep getting €1 worth something. Right? So what happened is like, yeah, the parent is basically is wanting to give something really valuable in the beginning, but then the child just destroyed it, and then the amount, the worth of the toy becoming less and less and less. Let's say €50 worth was really taken care very well, very nicely, and after some time you want to give something, you have confidence that yeah, now I can go for 100 or 500 or whatever, right? You know that if you give something to this child, it will really value it and takes care of it. So free will is like that, right? The mother is like the nature, the prakriti. It's like the mother, and living it is we are like this child. So free will is like, let's say, the gift which we get. If we just mash it, our free will becomes less and less and less, because our karmic balance becomes more and more and more. The karmic balance will start pushing you towards performing something. Yeah. But then that karmic balance started because I misused my free will. Yeah. So if there is no free will, there is no meaning to karma. Karma comes because there is free will. You can choose. So somebody may be having extremely small free will, but still there is free will. Somebody else may have a very big free will, like Prabhupada, for example, founder of Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada desired that I want to have 108 temples in the world when he was 75 years old. It's a desire, right? But then it manifested. So his free will he was using for Krishna. His desires, whatever he was desiring, is for Krishna. He saw first time when he was in, I believe he was in San Francisco, he saw the big, huge American trucks for the first time. And his eyes were just so big. And people were thinking that Prabhupada is so happy to see a truck. But then Prabhupada was thinking that I want to put Jagannath on this. We should do Rath Yatra with these kind of trucks. They did first Rath Yatra in San Francisco with these big, huge trucks. So one truck carrying Jagannath, one for Baldev, one for Subhadra. 3 big trucks. So whatever Prabhupada was saying, he was always connected with Krishna. And whatever he was then choosing was, or desiring was always happening. So his free will is almost like, it's just, he desires and things manifest. So we have both these extremes. Somebody who has really big free will account, they can just choose whatever. But then they are choosing what Krishna wants, and that's why it manifests. So if someone else, their free will account is so small, they're fully driven by their own karmic balance, pushes them towards even the place where they're born, how they're growing up. Everything is almost predestined for them. Almost, I'm saying, because still there is minute level, but it's almost predestined. For them, it's just the destiny. They're supposed to rot there. That's their destiny. But that destiny is also because of their own karmic balance, which came because of their free will. It's a bit complicated subject matter. You need to really be intellectually astute to capture this, because other theories, if there is a theory which tells it's all random. Whatever is happening with everyone is all just random. I can't really accept it. Another theory which tells, oh no, some god or Satan or somebody who is putting everybody into different situations. I can't also accept this, because what sort of god is that who's putting people? Somebody is born in Somalia, someone else is born in America, extremely rich person, poor person. Why God should be so discriminating? I can't accept this. If the theory of karma siddhanta as per Vedic scriptures is you are responsible for your own enjoyment and distress, whatever, at least makes sense to me. If you have some other theory, we can discuss. At least on top, these are the few theories which are existing. Why people are in whichever state they are. So for me, it makes most sense if I accept you are responsible for it. God is not responsible. Saturn is not responsible. It's not random. You are responsible. Makes sense to me. Okay. Think about it. Good.
I often wonder, so like for instance, some person is physically, emotionally hurting another person. So in this, like then we can say, okay, this person is going through so much suffering just because of their karma from the past, which is why now they have to experience this distress. But then what about the other person who is causing so much harm? Is that person not
They will also get
relating?
their own karmic. If that's why karma is a cycle. A person is supposed to be also using their intelligence and also free will at that point of time. Maybe karmic balance is that A is supposed to go and hurt B. That is the karmic balance. But then because A is a human, they can still use that buddhi and see, oh, should I do it or not? And they are choosing it. Because they do it, the karmic balance now is that B will hurt A. Because A hurt B. So it's cycle. It will never end. So that's why it becomes so complicated, right? So karma is like a tree. So one seed of mango, let's say. You take one seed of mango, you put it in the ground. Let's say it becomes a plant, becomes a tree. But one seed does not give one fruit. One seed gives thousands of fruits. Right? Every season it gives thousands of fruits, right? Every tree. Now, so there was one seed, thousands of fruits coming, thousands of seeds. They also are there on the ground. And each of them will give thousands of fruits. So karma is like that. So one action is not just one result. It can give multitude of results, and those can give other multitude of results. It becomes impossible for anybody to just go, I want to start untangling this karmic bonding. It's not possible for anybody. Like people use this karma siddhanta. So sometimes they tell that you because of karma, the law of karma. If it means that if I kill an animal and then animal will kill me, right? So then they will use it for the thing that I'm killing this animal, I'm eating this because in the past this this was the one who killed me. But then just because that killed you and now you are killing that animal doesn't mean that it's over. No. Now that animal will kill you again. Yeah. It is not at all. He had killed me. I'll kill him. So no. It becomes a cycle then.
Boxing continues.
Yes. This keeps. That's when I can put a break and tell, no, I don't want to kill. I don't want to do this. I can put a break.
If you're helping someone out who's suffering,
Mhm.
like a bad person
Yeah.
who's suffering, would you be? Are you like technically adding? Like now I'm thinking of it in terms of balance, okay? Because like that's the example. So am I adding to like technically good balance, or am I like disrupting the cycle of karma that person should be going through?
It depends the
Like if they
situation.
murdered someone and if they're going to go to prison or something, and I'm a lawyer and I know that person's a criminal, but then I find a loophole and I make them like not.
Very good question. So that's where important people and intelligent people and those who are really leadership people in the society will need to be really critical on what exactly they're doing. Just winning it for the sake of winning it or finding the loopholes in the system and then somehow or the other getting the person out. If the person is transformed, that's fine. If he or she is not transformed, they will create much more disturbance in society afterwards. Right? So what am I contributing to that? I'm not contributing to the positivity of it. I actually enabled a lot more negative situations to come because I protected. Yeah. So then the question is this person doing good thing or bad thing? Right? So will he get good karma or bad karma? Because he protected somebody, but then the person who he protected was really not the person who's supposed to be protected. So it's where it's a bit again complicated situation, not a straight line results all the time. But that's when people who are in those positions need to also then be aware, what am I doing really? Right?
But isn't it the lawyer's dharma to protect their
No,
clients?
no.
Because they're essentially, a lawyer is supposed to be going along with
Dharma
law,
is a
not
very
justice.
different a very different concept. Dharma is not just what gives me salary. That's not dharma. Who pays my bills? That's not dharma. Dharma is beyond good and bad. You need to have vision which is beyond so-called existential crisis of anyone. So that's where it becomes a bit. But unfortunately, in the modern world, this is how it is. People just do it for the sake of money, and they also then get implicated. I get a part of the person who is doing whatever. If I'm involved in a situation wherein I actually work towards transforming this person's heart, that's a different question. Right? So, and ideally, that's what you should be doing. So you should transform the person's heart in a way that they don't get into the same crimes again. So that's real benefit then. But if I'm just doing it because I get some money, I also get implicated because I took money. I was part of the game then. Okay? Yes.
The question is about the shloka.
Mm-hmm.
So regarding higher taste, so what are the ways or what are the reasons in which we get higher taste? For example, if I am cooking a food and maybe it's not a good food, then I get bored with cooking. So then I start some trial and error and I get a higher taste from there. Or someone gives me a nice food and I get a higher taste from there, like Sachinandan Swami. So with association we can get higher taste, or also out of boredom, if I look in this cooking sense, that we can try to get something which is better. So are these two the same, or are there more ways to get a higher taste, or why would one want a higher taste other than?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, why at all you want a higher taste? I'm just comfortable in however life is going. Why should I seek anything better? Right? That's when you need to be a bit. You need to have intuition which is strong enough, which looks around. What's going on? Right? Everyone's life. What is going on? So, if you are having your intuitive ability then, which is strong enough, then you understand what's going around is birth, old age, disease, death. Birth, old age, disease, death. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. This is what is going on. It's for short term, long term, doesn't matter. But this is what is going on. So it needs a bit of advanced buddhi there to actually understand, okay, right now things are comfortable for me. Let's say really comfortable. But then, no matter how comfortable it is, at the end, here it is. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. It's a temporary plane of existence. Why should I be in this kind of temporary side of
Again,
existence?
intellect comes into play here.
Yes, buddhi has to be working. If buddhi is not working, a pig also feels, oh, I told the story last time, right? I think. So there is the devata called as Indra. Indra is the devata of all the devatas. Right? He was cursed to be a pig. Pig. Somebody who is just enjoying in gutter. Right? Having a nice family, but enjoying in the gutter. Drainage water. That's what pigs do in India. So this guy became a pig, having a nice pig family with piglets. Right? And just enjoying as a pig. At some point of time, his curse got over, and Brahma, another devata, comes and tells Indra, as a pig, your term of pig is over, please come with me. And the pig says, get lost. I'm so happy. I'm so happy in my present condition. I don't want to come anywhere. I'm comfortable here. So that's how life is. Every single living entity as such is comfortable in there. That's because that's how also I said in the beginning, we are not independent, we are a dependent entity. No matter where you are put in, you will make yourself comfortable. I'll give another example. A few years ago when COVID first started, people freaked out to wear masks and everything. But then eventually it just became a norm. Right? Entire world, everybody was wearing masks. 7.5 billion population, more or less. Everybody is wearing masks. How? Yeah, we'll just No, accept. Okay, fine. This is how it is. If you can't wear, you can't get on the bus. You'll be thrown out of the bus. You can't wear. You will not be able to travel at any public transportation. So if you want to get there, you have to wear. Otherwise, just be there where you are. So to use any public facilities, you need to wear. So when the rules were made like that, everybody just followed. Right? So you may want, and people were freaking out in the beginning. People were freaking out. Oh, I'll not be able to go to because I deal with a lot of Indians. In the first week of it, they were really like, oh, what will happen to my parents? Maybe I'll die here, and they're really freaking out. But after some time, everybody is just comfortable. I was doing Zoom sessions. The Zoom became very famous also during COVID, right? So suddenly, like in my sessions, 50, 60 people every day listening to Bhagavatam. Every single day, 50, 60. Because people are just concerned, right? There was this statistic website which just keeps throwing about how many people are dying out of COVID every day, and I don't even remember that. And people are just constantly looking at it, and they're, maybe I also die, and they want to hear Bhagavatam and then make some good use of their last few days, and like 50, 60 every day. Then after like 2 months, 3 months, it became from 50, 60, it became 10, 12. We're still doing it. After some more months, it stopped. Right? People are just comfortable now. I live with COVID. Everybody is just comfortable. So how this is how just mind is. It just gets adapted to whichever situation you put in, it gets adapted. So whether it's a pig's life, or a horse life, or elephant life, or a human life, doesn't matter. You just get adapted to it.
Yeah, so part 2 of the question. So once we get like that higher taste, even then we go back to where we were.
Yeah, because that is not something which became my own. Like if I listen to Sajjana Swami, and he also said this, so I also said this in the beginning, so you get his experience, it affects your heart, but not to the extent perhaps wherein it makes a total shift, right? So our consciousness right now, it has this direction which is towards I want to enjoy. This is the direction it's focused. The entire focus of it is I want to enjoy. Now, when the critical mass is, Buddhi that says try to push. No, you're not enjoying. But then it is still here. When the Buddhi is really strong enough, right? And then it is binary basically. No, my existence is not for my own enjoyment, it's for Krishna's enjoyment. But then Buddhi has to be sufficiently strong to move this mass. Yeah. So that's where I need to continuously take shelter of association, higher association. The more you keep doing it, your Buddhi will become much more and more stronger, and eventually you can push this consciousness and then tell, no, your life is not for your own enjoyment, it's for Krishna's enjoyment. So this will take some years, maybe decades, maybe lifetimes to actually shift. Because right now the only target is the living entity is gravitating towards enjoying itself now. That's where I get gravitated. Any opportunity where I can enjoy, I just gravitate towards that. But then it has to change from that. No, I just want to serve Krishna. That's the only thing which I want to do in life.
So it is like due to intellect, we want good association, or we do good association.
Both.
And
it's a loop.
After that, like due to good association, maybe our intellect likes that, and then
Yes.
again tells us to.
It's a loop. It's feedback. It's 8:30. Perhaps do 5 minutes kirtan. We have Katal.